Hey, welcome to the first odd topic in quite some time. I know that when Thomas and I went to shorter weekly episodes, we said that occasionally we do these odd topics throughout the week. And I'm recording this right now. It's just going to be on the Facebook page and Twitter. And um, and we said that these odd topics were going to be kind of things that we noticed that were going on, and we wanted to kind of address them in a short video, 3 to 5 minutes. Um, so one of those things is going on. If you're familiar with Jon Acuff, he's an author. Actually, he started out with a blog called Stuff Christians Like, and it was a play on stuff white people like. Um, Super funny stuff. He wrote a book. He ended up writing a couple other books called Quitter, Start, Do Over. Um, Man, he worked for so he does that, and you can Google him, you can check him out. But he's pretty big, best-selling author. Um, his last book deal was with Penguin Publishing, so he's up there. So he tweeted this thing out today that this tweet right here. Basically, it was a tweet that said. He was giving a shout out to all the pastors that canceled Christmas and made the comment that, as pastors' kids, it's difficult. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of pastors' kids end up leaving Christianity, leaving the faith. And I wasn't a pastor's kid. My wife was. And I've been in ministry and I have kids. So my kids have been pastors' kids. And I would say that tweet, loved it. I love the feeling behind it and the what he was trying to communicate behind it. I would say probably a lot more reasons than just Christmas, and I know that he was kind of that he was alluding to that was the intent, that it's not just really just missing Christmas service, but the point that the church oftentimes takes away the pastor from the family, and it's so easy for the church to become a mistress to the family, and for the pastor to give so much time to the church that his family suffers, and that's not uncommon. And if you think that that's not the case, then you're really misinformed. So that tweet, he tweeted that tweet out, and people flipped out. Like there are people like this right here. He Instagrammed this picture. And you can see on the top picture, the guy was like, "This is the worst tweet I've ever read by anyone." And the bottom picture is a guy that was like, "Hey, this right here, this is the best thing ever." And that top tweet was just like, some of the comments are mean and like it. It was horrible. I can't wait for the day that if I ever write a book or anything that anybody reads that matters, and that happens. Like, I don't even know how you respond to that. And it seems like he's doing a really great job. So John, props to you. And man, like, it seems like you're really trying to communicate and respond to those people that are responding, and great job. But my point for wanting to do this was really revolved around the fact that, like, as I was thinking about it, I read a lot of the comments, and one person was like, "Hey, that caught my attention." The person's comment revolved around the idea that, like, hey, some people don't have places to go on Christmas, so going to church on Christmas Day is uh, is kind of like them going to see family. And to that, I would say, like, in the last 6 years, that's only happened 4 times. So um, I don't know exactly when the last time that it happened. But that to me is a poor argument. Like, if traditional Christians, I know that Catholic churches have mass on Christmas mass or midnight, but most non-denominational or even denominational churches won't necessarily have a Christmas service if Christmas doesn't fall on a Sunday morning. Um, they'll have Christmas Eve services and whatnot, but I would say even without that, if my big thing for that is if the church is doing their job, if that church and any church, if we're doing our job correctly as Christians in loving other Christians, um, theoretically and not just theoretically, realistically, nobody inside that church should not have a place to go. Because if we're living in community with each other and we're loving each other, everybody should have a place to go, and they shouldn't have to go to a church building for an hour and a half to feel like they have some place to go. My wife, like I said, is a pastor's kid, and um, man, it's not just Christmas. It's every Sunday, and all of the hospital visits and all this stuff that takes that becomes more than just a job, that removes the typically the father out of the home and puts them in the lives of other people while neglecting the lives. And it's one day. It's one day this year that they canceled church, and most of them didn't cancel church. They have Christmas Eve services. So I just think it's funny. Like, church, we need to do a better job of making sure that people have places to go and gathering with each other to celebrate Christ, and not just picking this hour and a half on a specific day, to go and celebrate. And then when the church cancels it, not assuming that now we can't celebrate Jesus, or they hate their church, or they don't care about Jesus. Like, that's ludicrous. It's so crazy. But again, I'm at about 7 minutes, and I just wanted to kind of throw that odd topic out there. Like, church, we need to do better. There shouldn't be people in our congregation that don't have a place to go, and we need to love each other better. And realistically, be feeding ourselves spiritual meat. We should be eating spiritual meat and teaching this stuff. So we should be capable of inviting people in and celebrating what what Christmas Day means, for us as a church. And Jon, again, kudos to you, man. Like, great tweet, and it seems like you're obviously, you've probably had to deal with this before, but it seems like you're dealing with it in just a really eloquent and funny and an encouraging way. So, all right, that's Odd Topics. Merry Christmas, guys. I love you. Check out our website's back up. So on Wednesday we will have our husband and wife episode with me and my wife, and then next Wednesday, for the last one of the year, we'll have Angie and Thomas up with their episode. Love you guys. Stay odd. Merry Christmas.